This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Upgrade your business with Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning fewer carts going abandoned and more sales going cha-ching. So if you're into growing your business, get a commerce platform that's ready to sell wherever your customers are. Visit shopify.com to upgrade your selling today.
This episode is brought to you by Unstoppable. Discover the inspiring true story about Anthony Robles, who defied every expectation to become a national wrestling champion in Unstoppable, a new original movie from Amazon MGM Studios and director William Goldenberg, evoking the excitement and camaraderie of classic sports dramas and thrilling wrestling matches. Unstoppable features an all-star ensemble cast, including Jarrell Jerome, Jennifer Lopez, Don Cheadle, Michael Pena, and Bobby Cannavale. Watch Unstoppable now, exclusively on Amazon Prime Video.
Anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Back at it again with another shade of blue. We are the KC Soccer Journal. Was that too loud?
He ought to warn us when he does those things.
Damn,
I
guess he
scared
did,
my
though.
podmates on that one. It was silent in here. Then I went into an excited opening. I didn't build up the excitement before we started. Back at it again, people. We're here in the studio.
Let's turn the volume down.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do, Cody. Well done. Well done.
We are excited.
We are the KC Soccer Journal. My name is Cody Bradley. Thad Bell, Robert Russert, Carrie Robinson are all here.
But we're freezing our ass off.
It is cold out there. I was not prepared for that this morning.
I hate the damn cold, man.
Your dog's pissed at you, too.
Me and you both, Thad. We're alike in so many ways. I thought it was a
Does that
ginger
upset
thing.
you?
Oh, my.
I thought it was
sure about that.
I'm not sure who that would upset more.
No, we are. Thad and I see things similarly quite often.
In Cody's eyes, they are best friends.
Most of the things that we're annoyed at, that's what we share in common.
Things, people. Places, cities, teams, people.
I always thought it was just a redhead thing,
Attitudes.
why I was so bad in the cold. Because I am a little girl. I do not do well. I'm not built to be outside.
Carrie, how do you feel about that?
No, that's fair. I did not want to. The second I walked outside, I was like, I should not have done this.
I didn't leave the house for 2 days until this.
Yeah, I'm wearing my boots. Most of the snow is melted, but it took me a while to get outside.
This is like one of those, like, I want to like do the dad jokes, you know, like it's so cold or whatever, right? So
How cold is it?
plumbers are pulling up their pants.
Oh, thank goodness. That's a positive.
It's colder than a mother-in-law's embrace on your wedding day.
I've lived that. Anyway.
We all have. Well, no, okay, 2 of us have, I guess. Yeah.
Mother-in-law's embrace.
It's colder than a Johnny Russell look at a referee.
Ooh, that's a cold look.
That is.
That is a very cold look. Who else? I'm trying to think of who else had. Jake Peterson always had a good one, but it was expletives were following the look also.
Well, sometimes he might have been looking at the media, asking dumb questions, too.
Yeah.
Tim Melia looking at a PK taker.
Stone cold. That
Sure
is
it's
pretty
not
cold.
the other
out
way
there.
around because they're like petrified when they're taking a PK against Amelia.
Yeah, they're,
Because he's giving them the stone cold look.
they know. They know.
Speaking of Sporting Kansas City, they opened up the preseason, 1-0 loss versus Florida International. The Sporting KC subreddit was up in arms about it.
Colder than a subreddit attitude towards Sporting Kansas City.
Yes, there you go.
There we go. He gets a fist bump for that one.
Let's look at this just very quickly here. 2 shifts of 30-minute halves. Pulse camp in the first half. It was Pulse camp, Kyrie Shelton, Joaquin Fernandez, Robert Volater, Logan Ndenbe, Jacob Bartlett, Jake Davis, Zoran Basong, and then on the front it was Eric Tommy, Mason Toy, and Steven Afrifa.
And I'm going to go a little bit Reddit. Wouldn't you think they could put one in on Florida International? You would think. But,
Florida,
it's preseason, first game.
They have a good goalie.
Yes, they do. He made some nice saves.
Do you know that? Is that true, or are you doing a thing
Saying
there?
that.
We've heard that.
Were they in the tournament, Florida International?
I don't know.
Asking
Damn it.
questions I don't know the answer to.
They're
I'm
still
sorry.
more in shape than Sporting should be at the moment.
That's true.
Probably.
That's fair.
Yeah, but.
It is. They did put out their first team basically in the first half. Were there
Yeah,
any?
it was 30 minutes.
Okay.
First time out. You know.
Were there any like noticeable players gone? Because like
Oh well, yes.
At least definitely from that first one. Who did not play at all?
Well, we had no Willie Agata all day. William, sorry.
There it is.
I still haven't gotten that
first
in my
mention.
brain.
William
Okay.
upon first reference.
We had no Daniel Shalvey.
Okay, why not?
I think they're both still just recovering. And then at the end of the season, wasn't Memo hurt too? And he wasn't out there.
Okay.
Peter did say most everybody that was not in a lineup was just they had minor knocks.
Yeah. Rosero, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Rosero did have some surgery at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I would think he would be recovered though because of the time, but maybe he just isn't fit yet. That would be a shock.
So was Mason Toy out there? It looks like he was
Yes,
as striker.
he was.
Yeah. Seconds.
Okay.
He was on the front line with Tommy and Afrifa.
Yeah.
And I guess I was not realizing that he was striker. I was thinking he was a winger midfielder. So he's just straight up striker.
Straight up striker.
Okay, well, good. I'm actually like that maybe a little more.
Yeah, he's a 9. I mean, he obviously everybody plays somewhere at some point, but
Somebody's got to keep William Agata honest now that he's got the reins of our starter. Jesus, this is going to be a tough year.
You got to read the second lineup, Cody?
Yes, the second 30 minutes.
wait. Did you cover the midfield though? Did you say that? Sorry, I was reading.
Do we cover the what?
midfield?
Yeah, who was the midfield for that first batch?
Hey, Cody read the whole
It
lineup.
was
Yes,
Jacob
sir.
Bartlett, Jake Davis, and Zoran Basong.
So 10s.
No 10s.
I guess Jake would be the 10 in this case.
Possibly.
Or Bartlett. I don't know what he does.
6.
Yeah, no.
6,
It'd be,
okay.
yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, it's notable
Mr.
there.
Fab.
So Eric Tommy was there as a winger. If they are looking to bring in this mythical reported number 10, or not reported number 10, but the one we've been looking for all these years, the prophesized number 10, then maybe they are looking at different ways to use Eric Tommy.
Well, Mr. Burns. Where was Mr. Burns?
where in the world was Mr. Burns?
Where in the world is?
We're going to talk more about that later, Robert. You're going to ruin my entire thing here.
We got to
I
get
I
a
was
jingle
just
going.
asking where Mr. Burns was.
I have a new jingle for that segment.
Oh, you do? Ooh.
Well, Thad just had one.
Really, nobody wants to use my voice for anything.
Okay, let's look at this. The second 30 minutes here. In goal, Jack Kortkamp. Trialist made the back line here. Jan Jurček.
Yes.
Somewhere around there.
Jansen, Miller. Again, another one. We have a Jan and a Jansen. Ian James, Tim Leibold, and then midfield, Nemanja Radoja, Johan Ortiz, Cielo Chantret. Tashantret. Oh, okay.
His dad, Lee Tashantret, used to play for the Attack.
Wow. Good tidbit there.
Surprised you didn't know that.
Does that make you feel old?
No, my knees do.
And then on the front line, it was Alenis Vargas, Sebastian Cruz, and Dyson Clapier. Clapier. Is he French? Is it Clapier?
Clappier, probably. Let's go with that.
It was. Do you think like at halftime when they like brought him on, they went Clappier on?
Oh no!
Oh, Lord.
Oh no! You
The
already
dad
did
jokes
your.
are abundant today.
You hit
Your daughter is shaking her head.
You hit your limit of dad jokes early on in this podcast.
Nope. I told you, man. I didn't leave the house for like 2 days. I didn't have anybody to torture. So
1-0 against a college team. Preseason doesn't bode well. Reddit's already upset. I also saw a post on Reddit that was asking the question of, okay, it's a rebuild, but does that mean we have to suck? And yeah. Yeah, it does. Like that is what it means. I don't think we should sacrifice the rebuild in order to be marginally less sucky this year, right? It's a rebuild. What I'm asking here, Thad, is where do our expectations need to land for this season? Are we gonna actually suck? Because I think there's like nine roster slots still open. So at the moment, we're definitely gonna suck.
yes, they're definitely going to suck for a while. It's just a fact of life until you can get enough players in and who they are. We don't know who they are. If they don't bring players in, they're going to suck for a long time. I'm not going to read anything into a 1-0 loss against a college team.
Yeah. What was that whisper? Did you think the mic couldn't hear that? Because I heard the whisper. I don't know what you said, but we heard.
Robert's making fun
I
of
hear
me
that
somehow.
can get tiring, sucking for a while. Anyway.
There we go. That was a joke. Say the jokes into the microphone, actually, next time, not just to Carrie.
Go ahead and say them, man. Then I can react.
I said to Carrie, there's so many jokes here right now. Anyway, yes, I think improvement is what we're looking for this season, right, guys?
So suck jokes. That's what we were doing there.
Man,
Well, the more
you
practice
sucked
you
the
get.
life out of my
But anyway,
rant.
yeah, we're looking for improvement. We want Sporting to improve over last year's results. I mean, that shouldn't be too difficult, right?
Are we supposed to improve over last year's results?
Yes,
We're rebuilding. The rebuild has begun. We're tearing it all down, right?
it was a bad year.
It was a bad year. It wouldn't take a lot to be better. I think if we do end up better, then that's a win.
I think there's so much playoff spots in MLS and there's just so much like variation between each season that,
Yeah.
I mean, you really don't know what you're going to get with a team that's going to be good one season, bad the next season.
Yeah.
There's a very small roster or a slim margin of error.
Yes.
So are we at the point where we're hoping we're better than San Diego? Is that our target?
We're going to that last playoff spot.
So that's your margin, or that's the benchmark for success, is you still want playoffs this year. First year of the rebuild, we can still get to playoffs.
I don't think that it's not impossible.
It's not. It's a valid point. A lot of teams get into the postseason.
Well, looking at the roster right now, Carrie,
Then no.
what are your thoughts?
Then no. Yeah, very quick answer on that one.
Let me be a little optimistic for this season, y'all. I just got my Miami ticket. We're good.
Okay, good.
I'm ready to boo him.
I got charged $200 from Sporting Kansas City beyond my season ticket thing. I don't know even what that's for. I need to find out. I don't think it's for Miami tickets because I didn't say yes.
Well,
So I'm
Did
you
you
were,
say
you were
no?
supposed to say no. Did you say no to them?
I did not. So did I say yes? Is that what it is? Well, shit.
How many tickets do you have?
2.
$100 tickets to that game.
I
Even
guess
for
so.
season tickets, huh?
I was afraid that's what it was. That's all right. Fiance can go with somebody.
Okay, now we know something that sucks.
That sucks.
Right. So I thought Carrie was going to be optimistic. So now I'm going to flip to be a little more optimistic. Is it okay if they suck for a while? Yes. The whole season? No. Okay. At the beginning of the season, I do expect them to suck because we still don't know if they're bringing players in. They working on it, etc. They have this window. They have the summer window to get players in and rapidly change the lineup. If they're not playing really well, pretty well, by the end of the season, then yes, it's a failure, and we're talking about moving coaching staffs out. Okay, I'm not saying
More
that.
coaching staff.
Well, Z just retired.
Right.
so
Right, yeah.
I'm not calling for anybody's head or anything like that. I'm just saying that's what will the expectations be. Some people already have expected it to be 2 years ago, but that's beside the point. They have an opportunity to massively change this team. Yes, there's still some dead weight around that they would love to change or change the contracts on, but they have the opportunity to change this team a lot. That doesn't mean it's going to happen on day one because it hasn't happened yet. But they do have 2 windows, in my opinion, to massively change this team. Yes, they're still talking 3 windows for being good next year, but right now, you got to get something in. You got to get a 10. You got to get a winger.
So the one thing we can agree on is what we were afraid of at the end of last season. When the Champions League comes around here in like a month or a few weeks, whenever it is, and Carey spends all the money to go to Miami, Sporting KC will suck then.
I would say there's a relatively high chance of it, yes. I mean, you never know, right? I mean, hey, you can have a college team beat a pro team.
But it's the magic of Children's Mercy Park,
There you go.
not Arrowhead. We have the Nebraska Furniture Mart on our side.
Well, hey, if you want to talk
Powerful.
the way they're going through this rebuild, they're doing it smart tactically, because a rebuild built around the idea of going to goal quicker, being a more direct team, that's probably the simplest way to rebuild your roster and rebuild your attack.
A young team.
I think they're going
Young,
about it
yeah.
that way. Yeah.
Okay, let's take a break and we'll come back and talk about what they are doing to rebuild this roster. When does the season start? How long do they have? Not season. When's the Champions League first game? Are we weeks? Are we into weeks yet?
Yeah.
February 18, something like that.
Mid-February.
So about 5 weeks and counting. They've got 5 weeks to bring people in. And apparently Mr. Burns is overseas working on that. So we're going to go to break and come back and talk about that.
Why are there ridges on Reese's peanut butter cups? Probably so they never slip from her hands. Can you imagine? I'd lose it. Luckily, Reese's thought about that. Wonder what else they think about. Probably chocolate and peanut butter.
Cody, did you see that Johnny Russell was in town yesterday
What?
for the Chiefs game?
Oh, see, I knew. I thought something just seemed brighter in Kansas City. I could feel it.
He was smiling. He was not wearing black. I think he's going to be okay.
Okay.
I think I'm going to be okay.
Oh, see, that
I think you should be okay.
Thank you for telling me that. That makes me feel a lot better because he left and came back. I bet they were like wrapping up, moving and stuff like that is why he came back.
Probably so.
Yeah, let's not talk about that part.
So,
let's just
Carrie-
talk about how he's smiling right now.
And
Tell
he
us
was
more,
in
Carrie.
Kansas City again.
Yeah,
I love it.
he was with Lola Bonta, who is still in town. I think current left for Florida or California. One of the two. They're all the same.
Where did they go? Thad doesn't know either.
I think-
Depends if they want to
I
burn
think
or
they're
actually
going
enjoy
both
the
places.
sunshine.
Somewhere warm.
Anyways, they're leaving either today or tomorrow, but Lo took a selfie with her, Andrea Fontes, and Johnny Russell of them at the Chiefs game.
Okay, cool. Fonte's still here.
Should have had Roger in there because there's been a lot of old players.
Well, he's on the plane, or he was seen on the plane going to Sporting's preseason.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
Why?
Hmm.
Is he?
He's been literally everywhere. I'll like open up my Instagram and he'll be at like the Comets game, and then he's on the plane with Sporting, and then he's just out and about. It's like, Roger, I love you. Get off my phone. Where are you at?
Thad, what do you think of this? What does this mean? Is he helping get them in shape for preseason as a scrimmage player, or is this like a coaching staff feeler? What's going on there?
I don't know. It's a good question, though. Maybe it's just, here's an inspirational legend kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
that could be, maybe he's interested in coaching. There could be some 2 team out there that needs him.
Well, I don't know if this has anything to do with that, but he's also in the new Apple TV special they're putting out. He was in the trailer, so
Yep.
he featured there. So I don't know if that's
and he wasn't
anything to do
even
with
playing
anything.
Yeah, that was the first time I was like, all right, Roger is everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that trailer seemed to feature Sporting KC more than one might expect for the season that they had.
Well, there's compelling things that happen to teams that don't do well, right?
Yeah, I know. I guess going in, I was assuming this is going to be
Right,
sad
yeah.
for a Sporting KC fan. Like, we're not going to really see anything, but
it might still be sad. Looks like they're focusing on Johnny and his contract.
It'll definitely be
So
sad.
hopefully it's not too bad that we're like not
Yeah.
liking him anymore.
yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know, club over everything sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be hard either way. Man, if it's Johnny being stubborn and not signing, or it's Peter being stubborn and not signing, either way.
Speaking of signings, that press conference, Burns and Vermes say that more signings are coming. Additional signings to be announced.
Offers have been made.
They're wheeling and dealing.
Yep.
Vermes says that Burns is overseas as we speak. Where do you think he is right now?
Europe.
Europe. What country in Europe? Spain. Locking down that 20-year-old. There's apparently a 20-year-old from Barcelona B. Unai Hernandez.
Yeah.
Phenomenal name. Lock him up.
Haven't really heard positive that they're going to sign him or that he's as good as people think. But
Captain of Barcelona B.
yeah.
Heck yeah.
I liked his highlights, but I mean,
We like our Barcelona B players. We've got a stained glass hall for them ready to go. Or no, the Catalan Café. That's what that is.
well, that's part of the.
If they do well enough, then they get stained glass in the Catalan Café.
In my mind, you have like booths and tables at this Catalan Cafe, and there's like stained glass portions here, which is backlit, so it
Right.
just glows. So you see Yuri Rosell holding a trophy. You see Ilya celebrating a PK take. You just see those glowing personalities coming out of them.
Is this the next add-on to Children's Mercy?
Oh, well, I
Or
would
is
like
it-
to point out, Carrie, just so you know, that we came up with a whole line of commercials for Catalan Cafe that David and Cody contributed to. And then I did a narration of it, and Cody didn't like it, so we haven't ever put it out. So Yep. There we go.
I don't quite remember that.
Why are you such a hater, Cody?
I only like half remember what he's talking about there. No, the add-on will not be to Children's Mercy Park. It'll be to Nebraska Furniture Mart.
Okay.
It's a new wing of Nebraska Furniture Mart.
Can we get money and just open this? Like maybe we should open that. Compete for the food and beverage dollars right across the street somewhere. There's like a bad old barbecue place right across the street, isn't there?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Open building, vacant.
Wow. It's all coming together.
All right, Carrie, you provide the capital, right?
Which spelling of capital?
Yeah, right. That's AL.
Robert, do you think in these next 5 weeks that we are going to see 2, 3, 4 signings that might make
Or
us
9?
think, or 9, yeah.
Yeah, right.
But I mean specifically, it would take at least 3 signings that they're selling us are like, look, this could be impactful.
Right,
This
yeah.
team can compete this year, because there's gonna have to be a handful before I'm like, all right, we're good.
Well, as I pointed out on our pod last week, which, we allowed 15 goals in our last 5 games or something like that. And Peter said in the press
Are we counting
conference,
college teams?
yeah, before they went to Florida, that we're working on getting our goals against down. I don't see people on the roster right now that are going to do that. So I would like to see another defensive signing or a holding midfielder perhaps. And then, of course, the attack, that 10 has got to come before the season, right? Can we wait until the midseason window? Can we wait until next winter for this 10?
No.
Or the center back. Honestly, the picture you painted there of both of those positions, I'm not sure. They're both equally as important. If we don't get another center back in there, then it might be ugly.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're set with Rosero and Fernandez for the season.
With
but we'll
Rosero,
see.
okay. Pair him with someone who's less crazy.
One game, Cody. Come on, man.
I mean, like I think there's a pairing similar to Beasler and Colin, right? Aurelian Colin was lumbering up the field, doing a bunch of crazy stuff. Beasler was calm and collected, stayed in the back, did what he needed to do. We need that magic.
Yeah,
again.
I'd like to think that Rosero is the crazy one, and it
Right.
should not be. He should not be the Matt Beasler.
Right. That's
No.
exactly what I mean. He's the one gonna go upfield and yeah.
I'm thinking more Beasler or Opara.
Okay.
Right,
yes.
exactly. Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
Colin, he was always very focused, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. So, what do you think? Are these signings coming? Do they have got
They have
5
to.
weeks here?
They have to, right?
I mean, literally 9 have to come. Like they have to put 9 players out there, right? Like
No, they don't have to.
You
They'll
don't
probably
have to?
hit like 27 or 8, right?
Yeah, I mean, they need at least a couple more players just to have enough players to play in case of injury. But I mean, you can still pull a homegrown guy up.
that's what I mean.
Or,
Like, do they even have to?
but I mean, if they want to be a good team, they need at least one of those other skill positions, at least one, preferably 2, preferably 3, to show up. But for the time being, would you be okay if they brought in one guy right now with the knowledge that they can bring him in the summer window because of the different schedules?
Well, we're not saying we want them to rush, like they have said. We don't want them to rush. You want them to make the right decision, sure. But, gosh, need some bodies.
I know it seems precarious at the moment, but right now he's over in Europe. There's 9 spaces. He can just kind of throw shit at a wall. Like,
I think
Because that's the way to rebuild a team.
well, no, I mean, when you're combing through an international pool of talent, we're not in a position where like we're putting all of our eggs in this guy's basket. It's this guy's available, get him, sign 9 players to a year or 2-year contracts and see which one of these guys pans out.
Maybe-
A couple of them are going to pan out.
Maybe he's in Saudi trying to
Oh no.
outpower Greg Berhalter.
No, please.
Right.
Please, no.
Is there still any legs to the whole Neymar thing at this point?
I don't know.
Seems to be pretty slim.
I've heard it was not, but I mean, he would really fit with Chicago because he already knows how to roll to put out a fire. Jesus. Stop, drop, and roll, Neymar.
Lord.
I mean,
it's so cold.
It
that-
seems
oh.
like he would fit with Miami, no? Like, why does it just go to Miami?
Yeah. They
No.
already have enough problems, don't they?
They do. Did you watch that game last night?
No.
They're still so easy to break through in the midfield. Teams can get on the attack so quickly against them. Anyway.
They were on TV?
Miami was on TV last night?
Yeah, they played America last night in Vegas. Beat them 3-2 in PKs. Yeah.
All I saw was MLS hyping up his celebration, which is just, it wasn't really anything.
Right, yeah.
What'd
The
you
headline was Messi scores goal in preseason match.
So it was just preseason? It wasn't? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Showcase.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I saw like, oh, he's going to Vegas. He's king of Vegas. Like,
It's all right, Miami. Make your money.
I went to PKs, though. I know that much.
Right, yep. 3-2, Miami won.
They're allowed to do that little preseason showcase. Premier League teams do it. Makes them a lot of money.
yeah.
Do it, Miami. Make your money back. You got one more year, right? Is this it?
LAFC plays them next. So
We have one more year. This is one season of Messi, and then it's all over.
that's the rumor.
Do I have that right?
Till
3
he
years. Yeah.
resigns.
Then probably go back to Barcelona.
Yeah. Back to compete in the Champions League.
Yeah. I don't know.
What are they going to do? That stadium is not even going to be ready by the time he's gone. They build this new stadium, I think partially to convince him to come there, and it's not even going to be done in time.
But he'll be there opening day. Welcome to my palace.
I hope his last game is at New York City FC, so he has to retire on that baseball
On a
field.
baseball field, that'd be
In
great.
true MLS style. Like Chiellini.
Yeah. No, that would be good. I like that. That would be cold. That would be a cold move by MLS.
Jeez. Hey, they're getting their new stadium.
Who?
NYCFC.
Oh, yeah, they are. That's right.
Yep.
When is that supposed to be done, though?
I think 2026.
Yeah, I don't. Have they even broken ground on that
They
yet?
have, yeah.
It did look nice.
They have.
I'll say that. It looked pretty cool. I'm glad they're finally getting that done. Hopefully
Definitely.
New York will embrace that more so now.
So, do you have any faith in Burns getting this done?
I think the question would be what this is. The definition of this in that sentence. Getting this done. They'll sign some players. They're going to, I think they're signing more players this offseason than they've done in many off seasons to fill the roster. So that's, in my head, that's just putting out feelers. We're bringing in new talent. There's going to be some people that impress, some that don't. It's a rebuild year. Is he going to bring in some players and find some talent? Yeah, that's what I'm expecting out of him this year.
I mean, I just want to wait to see what happens. So, try not to make any judgments before I should. But getting the recent move, that did have to at least be a positive. And
Yeah.
I just got to sit there and imagine how nice it would have been to see Burns' poker face as he stood there and told Chivas, he's a very valuable part of our team and we can't let him go for free. I don't know if it could be any colder than that.
Excellent point. Excellent.
Cold.
But you've got to think about the discipline it takes for Burns, Vermes, the sporting organization to say to themselves, hey, we need to create a buzz in our fans base, but we also need to do this right. It's temptation. We got to create a buzz, but you got to do it right. So you got to really walk that line. And it's not an easy thing to do.
No, it's not.
Tension, internal tension.
And it's impossible to say or have a prediction or a benchmark for what we think the team should do this year, especially when there's still so many open slots. And it's a rebuild year. Someone should ask them that. What is the goal for Vermes this year? What's the benchmark? Sneak into the playoffs still? I don't know. But this beginning of Burns has looked good to me so far. So I have enough confidence. I do believe. Apparently there's people that just don't believe that the owners are willing to spend more money. They've said this, that they're going to do it. They're rebuilding. I have no reason to believe that they're just going to be like, nah, never mind. We're not spending money on players. So, yeah, I think he's going to, whether we're going to be good this year or not, he'll bring in a bunch of new players. There's going to be some diamonds in the rough that we find. Maybe Cody's new favorite player is going to join us this year, a new legend. And I think that's all you can do in a rebuild year.
Well, if David Greenwald were here, I feel this is what he would say. The ideal situation is they sign someone like a Miguel Almiron for, an exciting upcoming player for a fair amount of money, and then they sell him 2 or 3 years down the line after he's really, performed well for, 3 times that amount. That's
Is that
the
what
ideal
we're doing?
scenario.
That's not how you're doing a rebuild. You would sign someone like that to come be a final piece, put you over the line, ensure that you're going to win in the playoffs.
That's just what David would say.
That's what David would say. I'm just saying, exactly.
Well,
Gary,
I would
thank
totally
you.
disagree, though. That's part of rebuilding into becoming a great club is that you bring in a guy who's good enough to do that and then sell him on for more money that you can then turn into a couple other people.
Right.
That's where it's hard to get a guy who you can bring in and sell for money. It's then even harder to turn around and invest that properly. So Atlanta, was really great. It was
Okay,
never
well,
gonna lose.
Robert,
And
do
then
you think
they sucked.
there's a signing like that coming this year? Because I don't. I think we're going to take the field where it's like the movie Major League, where it's starting, it's like, who the fuck are these guys?
The power of friendship.
I think it's going to be vibes. It's going to be like, young guys, good vibes. We're all new here trying to make an impact. Are you expecting them to bring in this big player? And
I'm
he's
expecting them
gonna
to
be
bring in
the-
a 10 because it's what's needed. It's going to create that buzz. It's, hopefully going to be a young player like we've seen a bit of a rumor on.
Young, as
But
in
see-
20 or young as in 26?
that guy.
I think below 26. I'd say 24 would be.
Well, the rumor that you're saying, you're talking about the Barca B guy.
Yeah, I mean, just example. He's
not-
an example.
That's a very different signing to me than what you're saying. Bring in a Miguel Almiron to be the headliner to sell the tickets for the next few years.
Well, yeah, but was Miguel Almiron that big of a guy before he came here?
No.
Okay. I was misunderstanding what you were getting at.
Before he came here.
In the rumor, they also had linked the Barcelona B guy, and they called him like the Sporting Kansas City's looking for the next Ricky Puig.
Yeah, they're
Right.
their own Ricky Puig.
Yeah.
Which I don't have anything against that guy. I just haven't heard a lot of positive that that's who they're trying to get.
Yeah.
But there's so many factors to maybe they are trying to get somebody, but they got priced out of what they want to spend on that person. So my over under on a 10 they bring in is 26.
Okay. I'd be happy with 26. I'd like a few years younger, but 26 would be good.
I would too, but I think that if they're looking for a guy who can come in and produce from day one, they're
Right.
probably looking at somebody who is
Sure.
that. If they're looking at a 20-year-old, they're probably looking at somebody who can come in and contribute, but also has a lot of room to grow.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would prefer almost that to be a winger, quite honestly. That really growth spot. But again, they have the freedom to bring in 3 DPs or 2 DPs and 2 more U22 players. That's the beauty of what they have right now, but they're throwing stuff out there and then they're going to try to make some good hand out of that.
But tactically, if the goal is get the ball forward quickly, a 20-year-old player who plays for Barcelona B can do that.
Yeah. And if the goal is rebuild this year and not win, then put that kid out there.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Someone's going to have to ask, what are we doing this year, Pete?
Do they even know for sure?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they don't.
Because if Burns comes back from Europe with, here's 3 players I brought you, Peter. 27-year-old 10, a 22-year-old winger, and a 20-year-old outside back. Peter goes, cool, throws them out there, sees what they do, and then makes them play. Whether he does it right or not, that's a whole other story. But it all depends on what they can bring back because they are just wide open right now. They have lots of roster spots. They have some cash. They don't want to spend all the cash on 2 players because you still got to get a couple more guys.
See, I think it's a good position. I
It
kind of
is.
like this. It's not. It seems precarious on the face. Like, oh, they haven't brought anybody in yet. They have all these. They don't even have a full roster yet. I like this.
Have you said this to Reddit or Facebook?
No, I have to be in the right mindset to reply on Reddit. I have to be
So,
having
like-
a really bad day,
So, like,
and I'm
5
just like,
beers
all
in.
right, screw these people,
And a couple beers.
and a couple beers probably.
You can do it whenever you're a few beers in at the Catalan Café.
Yes, sitting there in the Catalan Café with the shine of the staining glass on my face.
Build it right now just so we can get the Reddit.
Yeah, that sounded
Post.
amazing. This world I'm building is incredible.
If only.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break and come back and wrap things up. All right, Carrie, the Current began preseason.
Yep.
Official.
So it seems like everyone showed up on Wednesday, or most of the people. I should say there's a few here and there that haven't yet made
Brazilians.
it. Yeah, Brazilians.
We got all the Brazilians in town, okay.
No.
No, not in
Oh.
town.
Yeah.
There's 2 missing. There's Bia and then our new goalkeeper,
Okay.
Lorena.
Lorena. Yes.
I have to pause and like Lauren. Lorena, yeah.
Too many L's,
I know. I have to
So
go.
no games yet.
but not for the team.
No games
Just
yet,
dubs.
but players have reported balls are rolling on the field.
Yes, and then Thursday or Friday they had a training at the stadium.
We couldn't watch.
Why not?
It's the current.
No media was allowed, is what you're saying.
Yeah. They're a little harder to watch than Sporting is.
I can't even really pull anything out of him here. I mean, he's actually kind of annoyed at this, I can tell. That is weird. Why the first time preseason, get everybody excited, build the hype for the new year, get some media out there.
Yeah, but
Is this a Vlatko thing or a?
no, they've pretty much been that way since they came back.
Interesting.
It's I actually thought Vlatko would be looser on it, but
Yeah.
I don't
How
know.
do you feel about Jeff being gone?
That's actually just a good thing to mention is Jeff Husted is gone. He's been around since the original original Comets, FCKC. He also did some work for either T-Bones or
Yeah.
whichever the team name was at the time he was there, and then was back with the Current when they started up. So
He's been around a long time and another KC soccer staple.
yeah, he has moved on to another job. I don't know if he's ever announced it, so I don't feel comfortable saying it if he hasn't said it out loud. But he called me a few days before it became public just to say,
Oh, nice.
hey, yeah, he's.
Did we lose an in with the team? We lost a connect?
I don't know. I mean, still have connections with the team.
Okay.
Danny Welniak.
Okay, good.
I actually got to go and listen to her speak one day.
Yeah, you said, where was she speaking? I forget what that event was.
American Businesswomen's chapter that my wife belongs to, and so
Oh, yeah.
she came
Danny's
in.
impressive. Good
Yeah,
for
it
her.
was
That's
really
cool.
really good talk.
Yeah. Okay. How about the Comets? What have we missed from the Comets the last couple days?
They lost in San Diego, which I mean,
That's right.
it's
to
sad,
the,
but
to
not,
the Sockers.
yeah, not too unexpected.
I like that team name. San Diego Sockers.
Yeah.
Not as good as the Shockers.
No, it's not.
Okay, so you wanna know like a little full circle kind of thing here?
Of course.
San Diego Sockers used to be coached by Ron Newman, the
Okay,
first coach
yep.
for the Wiz. And you know what today is?
His birthday.
His birthday.
Nailed it.
I mean,
Happy birthday, Ron.
Yeah, I mean, not that he's celebrating; he's dead. But
Right.
was that a little cold?
Oh,
Lord.
God.
I'm sensing a theme here.
That one had layers to it. Well done. How about results on the field? They lost to the Sockers. What about this week? What do they got this week?
They will be facing Chihuahua.
Oh, no. That's a gritty team.
Yeah, this is two really really tough games.
Playoff rematch.
Yep. Speaking of cold,
He had a sparkle in his eye. I'm afraid of what's coming now.
colder than a keeper's fear when Timoa has the ball running at her. Cold.
Two keeper ones, but
Yep.
it's okay.
The Current were so good last year. They were so cold. They celebrated an epic miss with a river ball.
That was a little lengthy. Was it cold when she knocked that ball in the river?
No, I just think it's like you're just so
Yeah.
cocky that you can celebrate an epic miss.
They had a picture of her and Jericho walking in together, and it was like instant serotonin. Like I felt different.
Yeah.
The weather got warmer for like one day. Thank you, Timoa.
Timoa and her mini me.
So Camp Cupcake, the Yanks got a 3-0 win over Venezuela.
3-1.
3-1. They did. That's right. They got one at the end there.
Yes.
You could have corrected that on the rundown, but thank you. Just wanted to do it on air to correct me.
To be fair, Fatma had to do a recorrection
Yeah, I
for
saw that.
the one.
By the way, you can just call it Foot Mob. I used to work for them, and the CEO heard me say Fot Mob and went back and was like, "Wait, what'd you call it?"
Really?
And I was like,
Interesting.
Fot Mob? And
That's
he
why
was like,
Cody
"Oh,
doesn't
you can
work there
definitely
anymore."
just say Foot Mob."
Okay.
I
Well,
think it has
I'm glad I
something-
have an in with Foot Mob now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Formerly.
I'm on the nickname basis. No.
They're in Norway, and I don't actually know the Norwegian word for football, but I think it's like something along those lines of like fot F-O-T, foot.
I remember looking it up one time, and it is actually pronounced like foot, but it's spelled F-O-T.
I know. And I wish and it's such a popular app. So many people in this country use it, and I know that they're all saying Fot Mob. And I wish I could let them know. I wish I could tell everyone this news. Just say Foot Mob.
Public service announcement. Call it Foot Mob.
You think it could pop up on everyone's phone like a crisis?
Yeah.
It says,
They
please
should
don't
send
call it Fot Mob.
Sounds like a sponsor candidate. I don't know.
Oh my God, I would love it if I got that just a random notification. You're used to all these score notifications, goals and red cards and all of this, and then they just get one that's like, hey, stop saying Fot Mob, it's Foot Mob. I would appreciate that.
If somebody worked in their social media area back in the old days, maybe they could have helped that.
Yeah.
I know.
Sounds like an ad read to me.
It's a very small team. There's like 7 dudes in Norway that run that entire app.
7 dudes, and then you were there?
And then I was overseas. That should be a band name. 7 Dudes in Norway. I like that. New band name, I call it.
Well,
Speaking,
my daughter's starting a band, so if you want to.
Is she
really?
Well, she's kind of joining one, but they're kind of forming, so I don't say she's starting it.
Is she the lead singer?
She is pretty much the singer, yeah.
Are there 7 Norwegian dudes with her?
No.
I might get a little nervous. Is that was the case? But yeah.
There's like 4 dudes and her at this point, but yeah.
Are they going to make music for us? Bits and intros and things like that?
I've
Sounds
told her
good.
to.
I like this.
Wait a minute. You can't beat our intro music. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. Well, not an intro music, but I mean intros to bits, segments,
Okay.
background music for
Especially
segments.
Thad's bits, probably.
Yeah. Speaking of goal notifications from FootMob, I had stopped watching that game. I think it was like right before half. I left and got in my car and then got a notification, Thad, that Matko Milhelvic scored a goal. And that was a name that just stands out to me because this dude has kind of a weird story. And it's odd that he was even picked for this team, right?
Yeah, because he's not in MLS. Of course, I don't think he's with anybody right now.
I don't think, he has no team, not with MLS. But he also was kicked off of his team. That's why he doesn't have a team, because he was playing in some rec indoor league and got in a fight with people.
No, that's why he left MLS. He went elsewhere after that.
Okay.
And he went back to somewhere in South America. I'll pull that up in a second. But he went back to South America and actually re-signed with them like back in September or something like that, and then left. If what I read was correct, he left on January 1st. Like, nope, I'm done with you.
And can't stay away from the game. So he joins men's rec league indoor soccer and runs trains on them and beats people up too, apparently.
You know, my understanding was he wasn't even like that much of an outstanding player at that point. I mean, he scored like 6 goals, but it's indoor soccer.
And he was just watching, apparently. He
For
was
the fight, yeah.
He was a spectator when he got in a fight.
From mutuals, I've heard that league is very rough.
Yeah.
And so you have to do a lot to get kicked out of that league.
Just getting in a fight is how you get accepted to a team in that league.
I mean, MASL, there was a fight last night.
Oh, yeah?
3 players were red carded after the game.
Oh, jeez.
One was something other carded after the game. And at one point, there's a guy chasing other players through the tunnel.
I was going to say, this sounds like the tunnel was involved.
Yes, it was.
That's dangerous.
There's the view from the YouTube channel, and then there's like a fan view that's like standing up above it as they go running down the tunnel, yelling at them.
Oh, jeez. Where was it? What teams?
Milwaukee and Tacoma.
2 areas where I think people seem quite calm.
I think it had to do with Milwaukee, but although I think it was 2 Tacoma players got suspended or red carded, and 1 Milwaukee player who has been known for his violence. I shouldn't say violence, but
Thad, back to Matko Milhelvic. What do you think of his inclusion?
I don't want to say I'm a fan of it or not a fan of it. I mean, I want Poach to scan the world. And
he's taking a look at everybody is what this means.
But if you have a guy who's head case enough to get kicked out of Montreal from MLS, and then also having a problem with the team he's currently with, but, maybe they should give Mr. Burns a phone number.
Robert says he wants an exciting signing. I mean, you want to get people lively and...
We need him to score a PK, though.
God, that was terrible. I think Cody would have done better than that.
Guys, I scored a goal in my triumphant return to rec league soccer. Did not
You
play
should be
well
so
at
proud.
all. The short-sided field, low goals, different style of play there at the soccer lot that I haven't done in a long time. So I didn't play well, but I got a goal.
Did anybody on your team not score a goal?
Yeah.
Were you the low scorer or were you like high scorer with one?
I was one. I think there were 4 or 5 goal scorers.
How many total?
We won 9-7. Mine was the equalizer. We had more
Nice.
subs. They got tired in the fourth quarter. We were just grinding away. Came back, scored like 4 goals in the fourth quarter. It was great.
What was the celebration, Cody?
I crawled off the field because that shit is tiring. I went right off the field. I was blocking this big
Digital
dude
crawl?
out to get the goal, and so I fell as I scored, and then pretty much crawled off.
Okay.
That killed me.
Takes
I'm
a
not
big
gonna
man to
lie.
admit
That
that.
shit is tiring.
There you go.
Soccer on a basketball court. It's just all different muscles than I've ever really had to use. Okay. What else did we miss today? Robert, you had to sit down with Jake. Tell people about your article because it wasn't tweeted. So a lot of people probably don't know that it was ever existed.
Yeah, Jake Davis. I'm arguing in the article, and I think it's pretty clear that Jake and Eric Tommy are the faces of this franchise right now at this moment.
They are.
Right before we make this big signing that's supposedly coming.
What about Shallowy?
Yeah, we wish him to be. Anyway, so yeah, we had the Sporting had their press conference before they headed off to Florida last Saturday, and Thad and Chad and I were there, and I was fortunate enough to ask Patrick, and Patrick let me have some time with Jake, actually in the middle of that conference while we're waiting for Eric Tommy. So yeah, we sat
Nice.
down and covered a variety of topics. One of them I think is pretty compelling is something that Vermes said. That, he brought out the fact that Jake has this professional attitude that, if things go wrong or he makes a mistake, he can get past it and learn from it and move through it. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing that Vermes had said about Jake. But Jake covers a variety of topics here. Does he want to be captain someday, or does he feel he's ready for that? Because that was an issue that was brought up at the press conference. And what he spent his offseason doing, he went and saw one of our friends, guys.
Who?
Gianluca Busio.
Oh.
It's his boy, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, they're really good friends. Like Jake said, they never played together, but they've always been friends for quite a while. So he got to hang out in Venice for a while. That was a pretty cool experience for them.
What stood out to you? Is he optimistic about this season?
You
Chomping
know-
at the bit? Champing?
Well, of course, yeah. And his philosophy, of course, is we're going to need to come together as a team. That's what we need to do. He emphasized that, and he did this at the end of last year's press conference too, that they're a little more individuals last year, and this time they really need to come together and be a unit, work and fight for each other. And Jake and I talked about this. I didn't put it in the interview, but that's kind of like that Midwestern philosophy, that hardworking attitude fits right along with that. So yeah, it's a wide-ranging interview. We talk about a lot of things, and you just come away with it thinking, this is the guy that we want to represent Sporting, just because he's such a hard worker and so genuine in how he feels about the club and what his goals are and where he wants to go with this club.
Man, a lot has happened for him in the last year. Like, it was just that last season. Now he's all of a sudden the face of the team. He was like kind of a gritty young guy. Maybe he can do something. And then 12 months later, he's the face of our team.
And he's talking about how he needs to improve, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Jake, you scored some bangers last year, man. He's like, yeah, I did, but wouldn't it be great if I could do it again this year? Yes, it would.
Yes, it would.
And a few more.
Right.
But he's in a tough spot, though, because everybody wants the mythical 10 to come in. But if he does, where's Jake playing?
Well, he's going to play ahead of Basong in the midfield, is he not?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, who else is coming in? We don't know.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I want Jake to play. I just want to keep improving. So.
Do you think he's best as the 8 playing, kind of?
A Roger Espinoza role.
Yeah, I think he's best as an 8 at the moment. But that means you got to have a solid 6,
Yeah.
and you got to have a solid 10.
Right. So Radia and the new signing and Jake. There you go.
Well,
All right.
I mean, there's 9 slots left. I would not be surprised that if at least 2 of them were midfielders. So there may very well, like Thad's saying, there may very well be someone that comes in and challenges them for a midfield starting spot.
Well, we've got Champions Cup. We've got probably Open Cup, MLS League play, Leagues Cup. So plenty of playing time to go around.
Yeah. Okay, yes. Robert, well done on that article. Thank you. We will talk to you next week. Sporting!
The other side don't seem so tough, and 3 own goals ain't all that rough. Our skipper has just been sent off. Supporters strong have all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking.